Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another fabulous episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. So we're 2 weeks in now to the Supergirl Season 2 show, and I must say that the second week of the show, I thought that Tyler Hoechlin, is what I'm being told is the way to pronounce his name now, was much better. I thought that they weren't trying as hard to be cute. They weren't trying as hard to be referencing the Donner movie every minute. And I thought that the story was much better as well. I thought that both characters were utilized pretty well. And yes, it's still Supergirl's show. They still want to make her the star. And I liked how it was very in character, and it was very cool the way Superman handed things off to her, the way he said he was just here to help, the way he said that he'd just fill in or he'd do what was needed in addition to what she was able to do. It was very nice the way they handled it. I like the way their relationship is going. I'm still a little peeved that they seem to have forgotten that she had a real hard time having him around, didn't want him anywhere, didn't want him to be a part of her life, didn't want him involved in the things she had to do. And now that just seems to be swept under the rug in favor of her being very cute and happy that he's around, which she shouldn't be based on the way she acted last year, just without there being any sort of explanation as to why. Clearly, it's a psychological issue with her. She feels jealous, or she feels like she missed an opportunity to be the one who was here first, because she did. But now to just glaze over it as if it never happened, or as if she never felt that way, is a little insulting to people who have watched the show, although other fans I've talked to say they have no memory of her being upset that he was around at all. So I guess it wasn't as big, or they're just so happy with the way it's going now that they're good with it. I do feel like everyone's saying, finally the Superman we deserve, you know, Hoechlin getting Superman right over only 2 episodes of a show where he's guest starring, and Cavill couldn't do it in 2 full movies. I think it's people, obviously, who haven't appreciated the Snyder films, which a lot of people were ready to not appreciate them as soon as they were announced as coming out. And a lot of people, critics included in all the reviews, talk about how, well, there's no Reeve, or it's no Donner film, or it's just not that good, or it can't be good unless it's this. And obviously they're hearkening back a little bit to the feeling of the Donner films, even though I don't really think he's doing an impression of Reeve. I don't think they're doing an impression of Reeve. But it's a little more happy, seemingly a lot of smiling, and I think that just makes people happy to see. I gotta say, I have probably 100 statues and figures of Superman, and I think maybe he's smiling in one of them. It's a serious look, or a grim look, or an angry look in most of the others. I guess a lot of people would say that's a mistake, or that's not the way Superman should be, or he should be happy all the time, or we don't like he's angry, or his red eyes when they draw him with those. But he's doing a lot of serious things, and he's saving people's lives, and he's fighting super criminals and people with powers. I don't know how many smiles you're going to get out of a guy who's every day deals with falling skyscrapers and having to battle with Lex Luthor and supervillains. So, I'm okay with it. I did enjoy the second episode a lot more. I hope to see Superman again on the Supergirl show. There's a lot of talk now, rumors mainly, from people hoping that there will be a Tyler Hoechlin spinoff where Superman has his own show. And I don't know. I really don't expect that they would go that way. Although maybe they will, so we'll see what happens. I'd be excited if there would be a Superman show. I'd like to meet the Lois of this universe and see how it goes. It is a little weird the more they point out how he doesn't age, which means if he's been in operation for over 12 years, you know, when he met Lois, they were probably of the correct age, and now he's going to be quite a bit older, and yet he won't look it, but she will. And we've kind of experienced this story in Smallville and some comics and things where the idea that that he grows old and everybody that he knows dies around him from old age, but he never does, and how much sadness that brings him. So that's a bit depressing. But I guess they won't really get into that in this show. This is a very simple but good and emotional show. The Cat Grant Kara goodbye scene, I really enjoyed. It made me teary, and I said this last year, this show does have the ability to make me emotional. So it's a great show. Second episode, much better. Thanks everyone for watching, and remember, always look up in the sky.